All right. Just said your name. Let's do it again. Can you introduce who you are and what it is that you do?
Yes, Jeff Harper-Harris. I'm the general manager and VP of basketball operation for the San Diego Guardians.
San Diego Guardians. Lot going on in San Diego. Have you had basketball as of recently?
No, we haven't had any type of sports, which is odd because as of Friday, it was the first day that official football practice for high schools. A lawsuit was done to sue the governor, so the courts had an injunction on his decision to not have youth sports. So once that went in, they now officially have high school and youth sports.
So they're just starting football.
Yeah. So basketball is an indoor sport, and due to the fact that it's an indoor sport, there's no decisions based on that yet for indoor sports. And then it went back to court again on Thursday because they felt that the high school association was not following the guidelines of the court order, and there was an injunction done for the high school association. So now, as of yesterday at 10 a.m., now all sports are allowed to start. But basketball season won't start till March 13th, which is odd because the first football game is March 12th.
That is so weird. That is going to be such a weird year.
California. Yes. The West Coast, California.
So, as of right this minute, what does your season look like? What are things that you're going to be able to do or not do? If everything stayed just like this from here on out?
We'll be able to play. We'll fall under the, which our owner, Kenneth Bishop, we found the loophole because we are a professional team.
Yep.
So by being professional, you are still in the same boat as the Lakers and other organizations. So technically,
no, that's right.
Right. Technically, we can participate, and it definitely helped with the TBL guidelines protocol on COVID. That packet that now we can give to facilities.
Sure.
Showing that we are a professional league and we're in a professional league and we follow these same guidelines. So we've been able to have combines because we've been able to find private gyms that are not governed by public. So that had helped us a lot. We also have a couple of private gyms that we are looking into right now but April 9th, we should be ready to go.
As far as what's the rule on fans?
As of no fans.
As of now, no fans.
As of now, no fans.
Okay.
And that's even actually in the high school also.
Okay.
Everything will be live stream or videotape. The protocol is no fans at this particular time. Now down the line later, maybe they send July maybe, or June, July if it dies down. We've been in the purple tier for a long time, and so now they're letting the high schools play in the purple and red tier.
So, switch gears a little bit now. We're at the draft combine. You go out there. There's 100 guys out there, all talented. You're all the way out in California, though, and these guys are from all over the world or country. How do you got to manage that if you're pulling somebody into the state? What are things that you got to consider before bringing them in? What factors are involved for that?
Well, we definitely got the factors of coming into California. It's not so much of what we got to look at. Is more so of like, okay, now you're in California and let's say we playing and you want to go home. You know what I'm saying? A player, hey, something happens at home. So now it becomes you leave California, you come back in, probably just going to be a sit out period. Or, you know what I'm saying? But there's no real strict rules for us when we come to bring in players in because even our combines, we've had players, the San Diego combines, we had players from New York show up for our combine. So we do the COVID test. We have 48 hours before you come to camp. All our guys have to have the whole COVID test, and then we do the temperature check actually there also.
So is that 48 hours like before they come in, or once they get to the facility and then take it and have to wait around for 48 hours?
No,
or can they do it before they get there?
No, it's 48 hours. But like in our combines, we had to have that paperwork that you went to the doctors and got tested.
Sure.
48 hours prior to you coming into the combine.
Okay. So as far as, in a regular year, what professional sports are in San Diego? Obviously.
Padres.
Yeah. That it?
Yeah. Chargers will move to L.A. San Diego Clippers been gone for years. Yeah.
Is there any lower divisions of any sport there?
Yeah, but I don't talk about the other league.
Okay. Is it basketball? Can we at least
Yeah,
say
it's the other three-letter league. The ABA.
Yeah, but that's not professional.
No, that's That's a glorified men's league. So, yeah. But anyway,
That's okay.
no, and then it's the hockey. Hockey is the goals. Yeah, I think we have indoor.
Oh, the goals. I do know of them.
Yeah. And then we have the. I think we have professional soccer.
Okay.
I think, and then we had at one time last year we had indoor football, at one time, and then once COVID stopped, they shut that down. So,
Okay.
professional wise, I mean, we are the now the professional team basketball team in San Diego County.
Sure.
San Diego.
How is the community of San Diego ready for? What makes you think that they're ready for a professional basketball team?
I think it's ready because of the concept of giving back to the community. I think myself, I think that's a big factor of why I came on to be the GM. I've been asked before to be GMs of other organizations, and I didn't believe that, they were about giving back. I think the giving back piece is major for me because somebody gave it back to me. Somebody gave me a chance as a kid. I've been down a tough path, you know what I'm saying, been incarcerated at 11 and shot at 13 and through it all I was able to go to college and play college basketball and actually go overseas. So I'm also a high school coach out in San Diego. So I coached the likes of Norman Powell to play for Toronto Raptors. So my whole goal is to give back, to show, you know what I'm saying, if you're an athlete, you sit on top of the food chain. You know what I'm saying? You have responsibility to lead, you know what I'm saying, some young people. And you don't have to be in the NBA, I feel, to do that. I think you can, our young people in San Diego and around the country looks up to people. That's why I tell our players, make sure your social media is done right. Make sure, seeing kids, because kids going to follow you. I mean, kids going to come out. If you come out and read to a kid or you come out to a school or high school, I guarantee you they texting, they looking, they Googling who you are right now. So, make sure you're that type of person where you can give back. And I think San Diego is that city with us giving back. And I think it's time for professional basketball to be turned to San Diego.
So that social media stuff, and that's all so true. That would take even a couple of minutes to research, but how quickly can you tell by when you're talking to a guy that this guy either has it or doesn't have what we need for him to be a community member when he comes to play for the Guardians?
Probably if he doesn't look me in my eye, he doesn't shake my hand strong, or is it that the what I call the rap syndrome. I'm like, I understand rap, but I want to have a conversation. I don't want a rap conversation. I don't want, if you have to think about giving back, then the Guardians are not the program for you. Like if you actually had to think, and I had guys, before we even finished the questions, like, no, hey, this is what I did back in my hometown, you know what I'm saying? And those people, those gentlemen that believes in it. And then the ones that, will try to fake the funk. Well, I may not can make it. Well, you know what I'm saying? Per your contract, you have to do it. But I don't want to force you. If we got to force you, then you don't need to be a San Diego Guardian.
What kind of things do you foresee specifically as far as community outreach when it comes to the Guardians? And that's the other thing is you guys are, we were talking earlier about each state is its own different world, and you guys truly are. So I don't even know what logistically you're going to be able to do as far as community outreach. Do you have any set plans?
Oh yeah, even though we've been doing food drives.
Okay.
Our players that we have signed to training camp have been that are local.
Sure.
The ones that we signed that are local have been showing up, and we give out food on Tuesdays and Thursdays. There's an organization called Home Court Advantage for homeless kids. It's a shelter type. We did a shoe drive, you know what I'm saying, where we had people donate shoes, and then we came out there and gave the shoes away and did a little clinic. So there's things that we can do that follows under the COVID guidelines of us out there, I think. And then one of the other things, we do Zoom calls with some of our guys, mentor kids on the outs, like inner city type kids. I think, with COVID out there, Zoom has become the biggest thing now. So, I think a communication, you know what I'm saying, kids can see you. It's like, we can't touch you. When they, we were shut down March 13th. We was actually in the state playoffs when they shut it down. When everything is ended. So our kids technically in California and San Diego have never been back to school. Kids were doing stuff. There was 7-on-7 football and clubs and people going to Arizona to play. But anything in California was shut down. So with our ownership, our two owners, they're great people. They want to keep, I think, their dream, their vision is communication. Like you don't have to see, have hands on. You could Zoom call, let's talk, you know what I'm saying? So there's different thing. We have like a chat talk, you know what I'm saying, where we just talk about anything. A group of high school kids, because they're going through things now, mental health things. My high school, we've lost one of my former players was shot and murdered over the thing, and a drive-by shooting sitting on the porch. So the kids got a lot too much time. This is new. This online schooling is new. Because you're only going to school really half the day anyway. And, let's be honest, kids really are not paying attention to news and this COVID. They're not like understanding the concept. We was kids once. I'm invincible. I can beat this. This don't affect me. I want to get back to playing. And honestly, it broke me down because I'm used to being in the gym almost 18, 19 hours a day and doing the Guardians. And so when it hit, yeah, it affected me because I didn't know what to do now. Like I'm at home, looking at my own sons like, that's what you look like. I don't see that often. Like, oh wow, okay, that's your room. Wow, that's wow. I didn't know your room looked like this.
You should go ahead and clean that.
Yeah, you should clean that. Yeah, and the trash been piling up over there, but I missed that because I'm never home. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying. So I definitely think. I mean, that's what the Guardians, their motto, man. They just. And that's just what I loved about the owners, Chantel and Kenneth Bishop, that they believe that, it's bigger than basketball. At the end of the day, my career ended. Everybody's career has come to an end. What do you do next? Like how you want to be remembered? You know what I'm saying? I think that's the Guardians' mindset is, when it's all said and done, somebody, a kid be like, I remember you playing for the Guardians, but I remember you coming to my school. Mm-hmm. I think they'll remember that more than if you hitting a dunk or that's at the moment. The dunk is the moment. But the same kids can say, hey, he came to my school, or, you know what I'm saying, he took me to the side and told me how he came to my basketball game. You know what I'm saying? And he told me how to get my hair right, or he helped me try to get to college. That's the type of interaction that the San Diego Guardians are doing among the whole county. You know what I'm saying? And I think because, the owners have been down a path their own selves, so I think that's the main frame.
We'll end here then. How do the people of San Diego know the Guardians are here long term?
Man, we keep telling them daily. Like, it's tough because basketball, San Diego's not a basketball city. When the Clippers left years ago, it left a gap, and people got to believe because, even when we sell it to our sponsors, the first question they ask is, well, what's the league? It's the TBL. Well, what's that? So you go in the history of the TBL. You tell them, you know what I'm saying? And again, businesses going to do their homework. I'm going to go Google it. And for us, the business people that behind us, the guys like Charles, Parasi, and those type of gentlemen bought into it and believe in it. And they was like, and they tell somebody, this is true. This is real. The league is real. This is professional. They have a payroll. We have a CFO. We have, you know what I'm saying, we have lawyers, you know what I'm saying? It's not the ABA where you just, okay, let's play. Mm-hmm. Like there's money on the table. There's fines, there's fees, that's business. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that mindset, and when they see that and they see the league and they see how the TBL is growing and they see the Magleys and you know what I'm saying, their visions, they bought into it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can tell them, but then at the end of the day, I tell them, go Google it. Go, you know what I'm saying? You go look it up and you find out for yourself, and then you come back. And if this is, and that's what I think we've been blessed to get the people behind us in San Diego that want us to succeed.
Awesome. Anything else you think we need to know about the Guardians that we haven't talked about?
As a great organization in San Diego, we look forward. We definitely appreciate the Magleys and Commissioner Wiley and the TBL for letting us in, because they don't let everybody in.
True.
This is exclusive. This is not just, you know what I'm saying, call them up and like, hey, I got a team. I just think I think the most respect is the interview process on the phone with Mr. Magley and how that went. You know what I'm saying? It was not about basketball. When I called in, when Bishop called him and talked to Wiley, and then Wiley's put us on the phone with, Mr. Magley, his conversation had probably the first 20 minutes had nothing to do with basketball. He didn't ask us about basketball. He didn't discuss basketball. He asked me about me. What are you, who are you, Jeff Harper-Harris? Mm-hmm. What are you about? What are you about, Bishop? What I'm saying? What are you about? Like, that was the first 30-minute conversation. Like, man, we calling to try to get in your league, and you're interviewing us, and I figured it out later. That's how they want teams, and and he found out that I'm in the community. He found out that what I do, and he investigated us and looked into us and interviewed us, and I respect that. Like, that's the first time, and I told Bishop, like, that's real. You don't get that in the ABA or them other leagues. You just, hey, give us your money, let's go play. And that, to me, that I hold that highly. And then when you talk to Miss, Miss Bagley and what her vision is, it's like I was moved to the first day of the team meeting when she got up there and talked. You know what I'm saying? Going through some things, losing my dad in November. For her to, to put her vision on that and say that God put her in that situation to move this league, that's real. That's the realest thing I've probably ever heard.
And we actually, I don't know if were you at our GM? Were you at when I was talking earlier today?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
because that you mentioned her story. That's one of them, and one of those articles is in there.
Okay.
Is her whole story, because I was, like I said, I was in Jamestown and she told that, and so we have that all written down, which is it's a great story.
Great story.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So we have that in there. Where on social media can they find you?
Facebook is Jeff. Guardians is San Diego Guardians. Instagram is SD Guardians.
Okay.
So it's Twitter. Twitter, IG, and Facebook is SD Guardians.
Okay. Awesome. I think that's all we needed. Thank you very much.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks.